Hey, welcome to Tim's Workshop here. This is May 2021. 1st of May, actually, today's the 2nd, I believe. Hey, I hate getting notices that I'm on live when I know I'm on live. I don't want the notices. Hey, so anyway, for those of you that are watching Tim's Workshop TJY for the first time, welcome. Tim here. So, uh, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe because I have all kinds of videos, how-tos on different subjects, and if they help you, that'd be great. So check out the videos. Please subscribe and leave comments too if you have a question or let me know. Also, if you like fishing, subscribe to my Fishing with Tim channel, TJY. So check that out. Went out fishing last week, but wasn't all that great. Ended up getting one nice large trout, which was really cool. I got that at the end of my fishing. I was giving up because the wind picked up. I thought I looked at the weather report and it showed that it was going to be, like a low percentage chance of rain. So I went, well, I got a raincoat, no biggie. But it said, like 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. Well, it was a lot more than that. It got kind of nasty out there, and I said, screw this. So, and another thing that went wrong is my mini Coda, the battery, my 12-volt battery. Apparently, the battery is like, over 10 years old. So I got down towards the end of the lake, and it just quit. So I went, oh man. So I rowed, got out the oars and started rowing, and got up towards the other end of the lake, and I wasn't getting any bites. I was using my downrigger at about 15 to 20 feet deep, and I wasn't getting any bites or anything. So I went, and the wind started picking up, and I said, screw this. So it wasn't anything to record. So I put my camera away and all that. And I get up to the over across from the boat launch, and I still had my line out. And by that time, like I said, I quit using my downrigger. So what I did is I put my pop gear on that has a little, some weight to it, has all the spoons on it, rather than just one spoon like I normally use. And I put that on since I was rowing, and I was in the middle seat. The downrigger's on the back, so I just quit using it and just started rowing like I did back in the old days. And with the pop gear doing this thing, with the pole. And I went, well, it's time to reel it in. So I started reeling it in. All of a sudden, I got a bite. And I went, oh, cool. So I went, well, let's see if he gets on. So I reeled in a little bit more, and it took it. So I went, well, all right, good. So I got the fish in, and it was a big, nice trout. And I went, whoa. And I didn't even take a net with me because, well, lately I've just been catch and release. So unless I kill the fish bad enough, then I'll keep it and take it home with me. But I'm not much of a trout fish eater. I like salmon and stuff like that. Crab, definitely. So I got the fish, and I didn't have a net, so I just picked it up with the line. And as soon as I got it right over the boat, it fell in the boat. and I had my dog Buddy with me. For those of you who are new, my little dog Westy, he runs around the yard when I'm making videos and stuff. So he's my little buddy, and he goes fishing with me. So he sees this fish flopping around in the boat, so he goes nuts. You know, he wants to eat it. so so I get him out of the way, get the fish, you know, and put the fish back in the lake, and off he goes to live another day. So it was fun. Anyway, let's see what else is on my list here. I wanted you to know what I've been doing and what I'm up to as far as videos and stuff like that. So my buddy Mike, he called me and said, him and his wife, they have a place down in Palm Desert, I think it's called. It's by Palm Springs, but it's in that area. So they got a place down there too, and a place up here. So when it gets cold, they go down there, and when it gets hot, they come back up here. So 2 weeks ago, they came back up here, and he calls me up and goes, "Hey, I want to get my RV going again, and I need some help." And also, he had a canopy window. That's what he originally called for, is a canopy window. And he said it popped out, and I want to put it back in. And so I said, okay. So I went over there, and he says, I need to get some of this double back 3M tape, and put it around the window edge. And the window, actually, it's a window that's between the cab of the truck and the canopy, that one window on the canopy. And it has a slide, so you can open up your slide on your window on your truck if you have one. And then the slide on the canopy, and if you got your dog back there, you can go, "Hey, here's a goodie," or say, "Hi, Fido." So anyway, that's what it's for. So anyway, the thing fell out. It popped out right into the truck, So anyway, so I went over there, and he said, I got to get some of this 3M tape. So we went driving around looking for 3M tape, driving my car, my gas, and I'm starting to go, nobody has it. So I told him, I said, I got to go home. I said, I'm hungry. It's past lunch. I got to feed the dog. My wife won't feed the dog. I have to do it, So I'll tell you what, you go find your tape. When you're ready, let me know, and I'll come back and help you. And also, he said, well, I want you to look at the RV for a second. I said, okay, what's wrong with it? He said, the refrigerator's not cooling down. So I went in there and I said, is the power on the trailer? He said, yeah. And so I pushed it on and off, and the light came on, it said electric or gas, right? And I went, oh, okay. So I said, that's on. And he said, yeah, but it's not cooling. I said, well, some RVs, my RV, the slide won't even work unless you have your 12-volt battery or batteries. My fifth wheel has two, right? So you got to have those batteries charged up in and hooked up, because even if you're hooked up to AC power, right? Your AC power goes to an inverter, right? It's on your RV, and it converts the AC power to 12-volt power, right? So for the slide, my slide won't even work unless I have those two 12-volt batteries completely charged before I even attempt it, right? And then, so for him, I was thinking, well, maybe this refrigerator won't work unless the 12-volt battery's good. And I said, how old is that? His trailer's been sitting for 20 years, right? I think he used it, I don't know how many, maybe 4 times, And so I said, how old is that battery? He says, oh, it's probably 20 years old. That's how old this trailer is. And I said, well, you need a new battery. I said, I bet that thing's deader than a doornail. And he says, I got to get new tires for this too. And I looked at the tires and I said, these are 20 years old too? And he said, yep. Anyways, so I said, you got some work to do. So he got a new battery, got new tires, you know, did all that. So I went back over there to help him with the window. And he has all ready to go. He said, let's put it in now. Okay. And I go, well, the window looks backwards. I said, it's got a concave to it. I said, the concave part has to go to the inside of the canopy, not the outside. This thing won't fit like this. So we turned it around, went to put it in, and I went, well, you know, your rubber seal is on backwards. I said, you're going to have to take it back off, put it on the right way, so the fat, wide part is on the outside, not on the inside. So he's got that all screwed up too. So I said, well, let's get back to the refrigerator. So this time I brought over my my multimeter, right? And I watched a couple videos on Norcold and the 600 series single door refrigerator, right? And it says if you test the two connectors that come out and hook up to your element, you have two wires that hook up positive, but both of those are 120, right? So you pull off those two wires that go to the single element in the tower, right? Pull those off and then test those to see if you're getting 120 out of it. First off, you got a plug that plugs into an outlet for the refrigerator in that outside compartment. So unplug that. We did test that. Yeah, 120. Tested the fuse on the bottom next to these two pins, right? 120 on each side. Okay, that's good. So now we check the two pins that these connectors came off for the element. Nothing. I said, this board's no good. So he called me up today. Hey, I got the new board. And I said, well, I'm busy today. I'll get with you tomorrow. So we'll put the board in. But I've been reading some more about that, and it might not have been the board. The switch inside the RV where you turn it on, auto, off, or gas, three-way switch. It wasn't lit up anymore. Remember when I started this RV thing and the light was on and said electric? Yeah. Well, this time it wasn't even on before I took that board out, right? So I'm going. So I started reading more about that. You know, he's already taken the board and got a new one. But then again, if that thing's not on, your board that's your control that's on the inside of the trailer above the refrigerator, if that's not on, it might not be sending the power back down to that element. So, well, you know, those boards, they don't last forever. So eventually it would have gone out. So he's got a new board. But if it still doesn't work when I go over there tomorrow and, you know, put the board in and it's still not working, I'm going to go right for that switch. And I'm going to take my electric cleaner with me, spray it in there, clean it, you know, the best I can, and see if it starts working and that light comes on. Then we'll put a thermometer in the refrigerator and check it out, see if it starts cooling. Make sure the gas is cooling it too, you know. So that's the RV and canopy fiasco I've been busy helping on this week. So I haven't had time to do a newer video for that I'll load next week. I haven't done that yet, so I will be doing that here shortly. So let's see, where am I at on this list? Told you about the canopy and the RV refrigerator. Oh, so anyway, my mini welder, right? I did a little video fixing my pressure washer bracket, and that all went well. Not the prettiest, but it works. uh, I got an old mailbox, right? I want to do some sheet metal tests, right? I want to see if I will do a spot weld, lap, butt, I don't know. We'll play around with this mini stick welder and see if I can do anything with it. But this mailbox, the sheet metal on it is really thin. you know, feels sturdy enough, but I looked at the thickness of that, or at least the door, right? I don't know about the rest of it, but the door looked pretty thin. I don't know what kind of gauge it is, but I'll probably burn through it pretty fast. But I'm gonna try it, and if it works, what do I do with it? If it works, then it'll be good information to know for doing other kind of welding, light welding, right? I know that thing will weld some thicker material for sure. I mean, that thing with hooked up to 220, it does pretty good. But dialing it down, and I'm going to use a 6011 stick instead of the what was the other 3011? I can't remember what it was, but a friend of mine gave me some 6011, which is a smaller diameter stick, and he says for sheet metal. So we'll try that. We'll dial it down and see if we can. I'm going to try a spot weld. So I'm going to cut up the mailbox into little pieces, right? And some of it's curved. Anyway, I'll get that, and then I'll drill some holes for spot welding and lay that over that sheet metal and grind it down good, so it's good contact, and hook up my ground clamp. And then lightly touch it. See if I can get some spot welds going on it, See if the other side looks like it, had, it's going all the way through. Not holes burning through, but, you can see it's doing a good weld on the back side as well. All right. So that's what's coming up with the mini welder video soon. Hey, I got some free materials too, also, to my boat rack, my new boat rack. I got my winch I want to put on it. I got some rope, and replace a metal cable with rope, and rig it up to pick up the boat and pull it right on top of the my boat rack that I got for the truck. I got some rollers today. I went to Home Harbor Freight, and they have like these conveyor stands for like $17 a piece. I bought 2 of them, and I'm going to use those rollers. They're about 12-inch metal roller, right? There we go. 12-inch metal roller, but it disconnects, and it has a bracket already on it. It disconnects from the stand. So I could use it for loading the boat and all that. But if I need the rollers for putting back on the stand to use for like with my table saw and cut-off saw for long pieces of wood or whatever, I can use those stands. And they're adjustable. So that'll work out good for 2 purposes. The boat loader and doing some light construction work. So I got the rollers, got the rope. I gotta go to Lowe's or Home Depot to get some U-bolts, right? And do that. I gotta get a gotta do some measurements. I have one pipe across the top of the the boat loader rack that is just one tube across, going from side to side. That's where I'm going to mount the winch. I got a big plate. I'm going to put the winch on, and then mount it with the. That's what those U-bolts are for. Two of them for the top pole that is part of the boat loader rack, and then I got another pipe below that I gotta get a hole saw to get the cutouts on each end of that pipe to fit down below on the two vertical poles. And once I do that, then I can weld each end on and then put that plate, upper and lower U-bolts, and then put the winch on it and bolt it on. And that'll be good and solid. And then I got to get another center roller up front so the rope goes up that way, around, and out the back. And then another roller on that end too, in the center. So 2 more rollers, U-bolts, and something to, and a couple eye bolts, right? Eye bolts to put on the boat. And then I have latches, carabines, I don't know, whatever, climbing latches, climbers latches for ropes. I got some of those, so I'll put one of those on there. But I got to get something for the rope, and it's a piece with a notch in it. It's a teardrop, right? Teardrop with a notch all the way around, and you put the rope around that, and then on a braided rope, you unbraid it, and then braid it together in itself, and then around that U-bolt, it's good and solid. So you just don't want to tie the rope to the boat, because I don't think that'll work. But with the metal brackets and everything that I need, I think it's going to work. Alrighty, so that's what's going on with that. Oh, my next fishing plan is to take the Mercury Mark 10 with me. Okay, so I'm going to use my Mini Coda. I got a battery that will work. I just got to charge it up a little bit before I go. I already tested out the battery and let it run in the barrel with the Mini Coda. And 2 of my 12-volt batteries that were for the big boat, they just died right away. Within 5 minutes, I started losing power. so I got to replace those. But my RV batteries, I got 2 of them. They're older than the ones for the boat. They're holding a charge still. I'm going to replace them though before we take the RV out. But for the boat, I'll just take both of them with me, charge both of them, and if one dies, I'll hook up the other one and see if I can get a full day of fishing with 2 batteries. I don't know. We'll see. But once I get the RV batteries that are brand new, when I'm not using them on the RV and I need them for the boat, I can just do it that way. That way I don't have to have four batteries. Yeah, I'm not rich, that's for sure. Hey, so after I test that out on the water, that Mercury Mark 10, see how she runs. I'm pretty optimistic it's going to do well on the water on that lake. So that'll be fun. And we'll shoot the video of that. We'll shoot the video of the fishing and all that. So that's coming up. But I was going to do it this week, but my wife gets her first COVID shot, and she's like, the reason she's now getting it is because she's scared to death of needles. She doesn't like doctors. So she finally goes, well, if I'm going to hang out with the grandkids, whatever, Some people you just got to, if they're going to do it, they'll do it. If they're not, they're not, Can't force people to do stuff, They have to make up their own mind. So anyway, she's going to get her shot this week. So definitely I don't want to do anything for a few days after that, just to keep an eye on her, make sure she's okay. But next week, definitely going to take a day and go do this. And if all's good, motor runs great, then I got to get going, use some super clean on it. Make sure there's no grease on it. Start sanding it down, and clean it again, and get the primer on it. I'm gonna lay it on its side in here in the boat port. I have a couple tables set up in there. Lay it on that on one side and do one side, and then once it's dry, flip it up on the other side. Just do it that way, side to side. I don't know. I'll try it, and if it doesn't work very good, I'll put it on the stand and paint it, vertical. In fact, I might just do that anyway. I don't know. If I lay it on the side that I just painted, that ain't gonna work. So, yeah, I'll put it in, keep it in the stand here. Just do it that way. Alrighty, so what else? I've been doing videos on my Mercury 60 horse outboard, and I got a series of videos on that. One, the spark and timing video, that loads Wednesday this week, the day I take the wife up for her first COVID shot. So that loads Wednesday, and then the next video, that's what I want to do this week, but I'll probably do it this week. Show you how to do the setting up the RPM on that motor. So once you go through the compression, the link and sync, the timing and spark, then it's time to get the motor running in a water bucket, get it operating, warmed up. Now this motor hasn't run in 2 years. I haven't had the boat out, so what I did is before I shut her down for that first season, I Yamalubed the thing, so I let the fuel dissipate and squirt it in that Yamalube, and that storage lube is what it's for, and then squirted the cylinders, So when I took the spark plugs out to check, do the video on the compression check, right? I actually never mind. Sorry about that. Anyway, what I want to say is those plugs are really wet and oily. So before I start warming this engine up, just I'm just going to get the lighter out, the propane, and burn off that oil off those plugs, and then put them in, and then go ahead and get her started up in the barrel of water. And let it run, get it warmed up good, and then we'll start the RPM, showing you how to do the RPM setting. So I got a little tool. It's called Run Leader. Okay, I got it off of Amazon. Didn't cost that much, and it has an hour meter on it, and it has the RPM. So it's digital, which is going to work better than the dial tack that I have on the boat. I did a video on that, just showing where it was at a couple years ago, 3 years ago, and it was around 890, 900, and that's about this. I think it's 750 to 850, so it was right at the top of that range. So what you do is this wire, you wrap this wire around the number one uh, spark plug cable, and then you put this up where you can read it, you know. It comes with a little couple tie straps, or you got some Velcro you can put it on too, if you want to leave it there, you know. It looks like it's waterproof, so that's pretty good. It's got a protective piece of plastic over the cover right now, but I think I might just leave it there. If I could see it, I won't even take it off, you know. So that's how you do that. So I'm going to do a video on that, and if your RPM is you know, too high, then I'll show you how to get it back down to the range you're supposed to have it per spec. So, and then once that's set up, then you want to make sure your throttle cable is not under a preload. So when you start messing with timing and this and that and the RPM and trying to get your settings right, your throttle, when you put it in neutral, you want that cable not to be under a preload, right? So there's a way of checking that to make sure it's not under load, okay? Called a paper check. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. Oh, so coming up, probably next fall, and I'm gonna have to build some stands. So I gotta find some metal, you know, build some supports or whatever, and jack the boat up, put the supports underneath it, and front and back. Get it up off the trailer high enough that I can move the trailer out. Okay. So if the back of the boat sits back further than the trailer. So if I put a couple supports on the back there, those stands won't be in my way, right? And just get it up high enough it's off the trailer. So the supports I'm going to have to move will be the ones that holding up the front of the trailer, right? So once I get the boat moved up, the trailer moved up enough that it's going to interfere with something, then I can have a couple more supports and put in behind that, and then take those two supports that are going to be interfering with getting the trailer out, get them out of the way, and then drive the trailer up further, and then put the other supports in, and you know, just back and forth. Now I think I might find a easier way of doing that somehow or another. Oh, possibly, if it's light enough, my hoist, as long as it's not it's not gonna fall over, you know. But if it can pick up the front of the boat and it's out of the way, that I can pull that trailer out with just the back supports, and then once I get the trailer out there, then put the other two supports in there. That might be I might be able to do that. I just got to make sure whatever I hook the front of the hook up the front of the boat to, probably a strap, probably be the best thing, something that won't slide off, you know, or break, you know. The front of the boat's not that heavy, you know. It's the back of the boat where the engine is. That's the heaviest part. So I think I'll be able to do it. Yeah. So the purpose of that is the anti-foul on the water line, below the water line, the black paint, that needs to be redone. I need to just get in there and sand it, put a new coat on it, roll it on, you know, and get that on the bottom of the boat to protect it. You know, it's aluminum boat, so and aluminum is affected by salt water for sure. So I get in there, hit the anti-foul on that, and then the trailer itself, the supports, the bolts that hold the supports that hold the boat, those bolts are just rustier than all get out. So I don't know if they're steel bolts or what. I mean, everything else on that trailer is galvanized, right? Another thing too is those running boards, not the ones on the side, you know, that you are not touching the boat. They're just kind of guide boards, right? Well, I got two carpeted boards that are underneath the boat too. The boat actually rests on, and that's what those supports are with the bolts that are rusted. They're holding that, you know. So you don't want those to break and go, you know, up through tear the hole in the boat, you know. So that's why I got to get something done with that. But those boards, it holds moisture, you know, say like salt water, you know, even though you wash the boat down, you know, rinse it off, get the salt water. Those boards got salt water in them, and they're against that aluminum boat, you know. So I need to get in there and get that fixed, you know. I wish I could find something better than carpet that, you know. But, you know, if I come up with a good way of getting in there and, you know, doing maintenance on the boat and getting the trailer out of there, then it won't be that big a deal. I mean, it's been like that, sitting on that trailer like that for, well, it's a 1996, so if it hasn't ate through the metal yet, it probably won't. But it needs some work, so I'm going to do that. Hey, story time. How many of you been to Reno, Nevada? Huh? Anybody? Well, I used to go there all the time when I was a kid with my mom and dad. They liked to gamble, of course, and I was too young to gamble. So they had, you know, we drove. There was no freeway back then, right? So when we left Seattle to go to Reno, we would go the old Highway 99 that went north and south. And went through towns. That's how towns made money back then. And now they got the freeway bypassing those towns, and those towns, it basically went to nothing, you know. The economy went in the toilet. So support your small towns, folks, you know, any way you can. They really need help. You know, the cities. Everybody works in the cities. They spend all their money in the cities. They go camping and partying, you know, in those small towns, and that's in the summer, you know, all winter long, you know. They don't have nothing going on. So we got to help them out, folks, any way we can. So I went with my parents down to Reno and took the old 99 past all these old towns and stuff. It was fun, you know. And then we got to Reno and we stayed at the Pony Express Motel. And it had a swimming pool, which was great for me, you know. Parents were gambling and I spent my pretty much every day at the pool. And there was kids there too with their families, and I got to meet people from all over the United States. So it was really cool. Had a lot of fun. So they had the air shows down there. So mom and dad we'd all go down there and watch the air show on the weekends, and hung out. We went fishing at the man-made ponds. That was a blast. Had a great old time. Uh, Dad let me drive in his lap. Wasn't no freeway back then. It was just old roads and stuff. So it was pretty safe for me sitting on his lap. He controlled the brake and the gas. I just steered the car. Yeah. Hey, other than Reno, I'm going to wrap this up here. It's almost been, well, it's been 40 minutes of me jabbering. So I don't want to bore you anymore. But, there is one thing. My guitar. I got a guitar, a free guitar. I got strings for it. I just haven't got around to putting the strings on or anything. But I got some ideas to write a few songs, make up songs. Cody Bass, I don't know if you guys watch Cody Bass, but every now and then he'll get out a guitar, just make up some funny song. So if he can do it, I can do it. Then we got some competition going, seeing who can be more creative. Yeah. I wish I got the free outboards that he gets. Wears a, Christmas hat and goes, you know what this hat's for? Somebody came bearing gifts. And he takes you out and shows you the free outboard somebody dumped off on him, and they turn out to be great. They just don't want them, He'll take them, He put a little work into it, put them up for sale out in the front yard there. And he has hunters and fishing guides and all kinds of people that, they bring him the motors that they have that they just beat the crap out of. And he just keeps patching them up. But, eventually those motors just won't be worth fixing. But if he has these gifts that he keeps getting, he has something, well, here you go. Give me some money for this and you'll be set up. Hi, Cody. Hey, also, this old outboard. I might as well make some plugs here. This old outboard, if you haven't seen it, guy's down in Florida, he's a wizard on outboard motors. Got to check it out. And then Cody Bass up in Alaska, Cody Island, wizard on outboards. Believe me, guys, check it out. If you're frustrated and having problems on your outboard motor, watch a few of his videos. You'll get the idea. It's not rocket science. The problem is troubleshooting, being familiar enough with these old outboards to know what to look for. Hey, somebody's actually watching me. It figures about the time I'm about ready to wrap this thing up, somebody gets on. Well, I hope you enjoy what you're watching here. I'm going to hang it up, but you can go ahead and watch the whole thing if you want. Just go back to the beginning once I end this. It's live, so it's there immediately. I don't have to load it or anything. It's there for the watching. Okay? Anyway, if you like my videos, do you do any fishing on streams? Hey, Jacob. No, not really. When I was a kid, we went up to a river with my parents up by Granite Falls, Washington, at the Verlot, and got on the river there and found like a little pool area and put some eggs on my hook, and maybe catch a couple brook trout, like that. But yeah. I did go river fishing with. I live in Washington, Linwood, Well, I live in Edmonds, so we're like next door neighbors. Yeah, yeah, Jacob. Like I was gonna say, I went to a friend. He said, "Hey, why don't you come fishing with me? We'll go up to the Sultan and go fishing in the Sultan River or whatever rivers are. Stillaguamish. What? No, that's up north. Anyway, I went to the river fishing with him. We got out there bright and early. You had a river boat, one of those banana type river boats, just oars, right? No motor. It had a charcoal can in the middle, right? You lit that up to keep your feet warm. It was cold. It was November, right? And here we are going down a river, uh, trying to catch a steelhead. And there was guys out there with hip boots, and they were catching them. But there was a lot of dead ones all over the place. Skeletons, jeez. They go up there and spawn, they die. So all day long, and I think I got like one bite. And I'm like, oh, this isn't for me. I got a friend that he's a river fisherman. I don't know if you probably don't know him, but his name's Don Johnson. Yeah, like the movie actor. Yeah, he's pretty good at fishing on rivers. I saw a guy fishing. What's what was it called? North Fork River in Missoula, Montana. I think it's Lewis Fork, Fork Lewis. No, can't remember it. But anyway, guy was out there. He had all brand new gear on. Brand new pole. It just like he just came out of Cabela's. And he got out there on that North Fork River or whatever it's called, and they started fishing and got a fish right away. I was like, really? Huh. So I'm gonna have to try that river out next time we go through Missoula, Montana. Check it out. Anyway, like I said, I got some fishing coming up. Some boat stuff. So stay tuned. And then my fishing channel, if you check it out, Jacob, I got a fishing channel too. It's called Fishing with Tim TJY. And I got some videos of fishing on Lake McMurray, Lake Bosworth, Lake Kavanaugh, Lake Rosinger, So there's not that many videos on there. It's probably under 50, maybe 20. 25 videos, but I want to make some more this year, which I plan on doing. So I'll be adding to Fishing with Tim TJY. So check it out, and please subscribe. Yeah. All right. Have a good one, and hit the notification bell. Leave comments. Give me a like. Appreciate the likes. Share my videos with friends and family too. All right. So let's end this for this month. I do a video, live video once a month, just so you know. Take it easy, Jacob. Thanks for watching.